Look at this story. Laura worked at Jacqueline's house, but Jacqueline was used to humiliating her employees, and with Laura she did this every day. On that day she says, "What are you waiting for to kiss my foot, your maid? Or do you think your God will put food on the table in your house? I am the one who feeds your children and puts food on your table, not your faith." Laura says, "What is this, ma'am? Are you going crazy?" Jacqueline, very angry, slaps Laura in the face and says, "Never talk to me like that again. Don't forget that if I send you out, your children will starve." At this moment comes in memory of Laura, her daughter who depends only on her, and she ends up doing what Jacqueline said and kisses her foot. Jacqueline says, "That's right, now go do your job, because I don't want to stare at your face." Laura takes it and goes to her room to pray, so that God will give her wisdom and strength to endure this situation. She kneels there beside her bed and says, "My God, help me in this situation, because I can't stand living like this anymore. I can't take so much humiliation anymore. Teach me, Lord, to act at this moment. Give me the wisdom to act." At that moment Jacqueline goes to see what Laura is doing. She opens the bedroom door and says, "What else do you think you're doing? I already told you that I don't want you to say your prayers here inside my house. You're wasting time, because if your God were that good, you wouldn't live in the misery you live. I don't want to know more about these prayers here." Joao, Jacqueline's husband's father, who is called Leandro, is bedridden and spends the day at home. He is there in his room and hears the screams. Not knowing what is happening, he is worried about the screams. Jacqueline is still there screaming at Laura, humiliating her. Jacqueline says, "I'm going out, and when I come back I want to see this impeccable house. I don't want to see anything messy or out of place, or I'm going to fire you, you useless." Jacqueline go to Laura. He takes her by the arm and says, "When I come back I want all the work done and the food ready." Jacqueline takes it and leaves. Joao, worried about the screams, takes his cell phone and decides to call Leandro, his son, so he can come see what's going on. Joao calls. When Leandro answers, he says, "Hi son, I need you to come home, because I hear a lot of screams here from Jacqueline and I don't know what's going on." Leandro says, "Okay dad, I'm going home." Joe hangs up the phone. A few minutes later Laura comes up to Joao and says, "Joao, I can't take it anymore, working here, because Jacqueline just humiliates me. She spends the whole day yelling at me, humiliating me. I can't take this anymore. I'm going to have to ask for the bill." Laura keeps talking. "She humiliates me even for believing in God, sir, because she says she doesn't believe. She doesn't want me to say my prayers anymore. It's very difficult, Sir Joao. I know you need my help, but this way I can't take it anymore." Joao says, "I can't believe Jacqueline is doing this to you, Laura. I heard the screams, but I didn't imagine it would be with you. Nobody deserves to be humiliated like that, and even worse, for being religious. That's something for everyone and has to be respected." Joao keeps saying, "If she doesn't have any beliefs, doesn't believe in anything, that's her problem, and she has no right to do this to you, regardless of religion." Look Laura, I know it's hard, but hold on a little longer. I'm going to tell Leandro everything and he's going to sort it out, because I really need you, Laura, because if it weren't for you, I don't know what would become of me. Laura says, "It's very difficult, sir." Laura starts to cry. Joao says, "Laura, let's say a prayer, because it's in the midst of anguish that God hears us." Laura says, "Yes sir, let's go." Joao begins to say the prayer. "May peace and serenity find a home in your heart, illuminating your days with hope and love. May strength and courage accompany every step you take, guiding you in overcoming challenges. May the health and prosperity be your faithful companions, opening doors to opportunities and conquests. May happiness and gratitude fill your life, making you appreciate every moment and value the blessings that surround you. May the divine light protect and guide you, showing you the best path to follow. May you be blessed in all areas of your existence, finding fullness and fulfillment in everything you do. May it be so, today and always. Amen. Joao continues to ask in prayer, "My beloved and dear Father, I ask that the Lord give us strength to go through this difficult situation, and touch Jacqueline's heart so that she can see His power and stop acting like this with people. Show to her Father all your glory, and may the Lord bless her Father. Amen." Joao says, "Let's trust in God, Laura, that everything will be fine." Laura thanks him with a hug. Wipe your tears and go back to your work. It doesn't take long. Leandro arrives. He says, "Hi Laura," she replies, "Hi sir." Leandro asks, "Is everything okay here?" Laura speaks, "Yes sir." Leandro speaks, "My dad called me, and said there was a lot of screaming here, so I came as fast as I could. I'll go talk to him." Laura says, "Okay sir." Leandro takes it and goes to talk to his father. Leandro goes to his father and says, "Hi Dad, I'm here." Joao says, "What a good son you arrived. Look at the situation here is very complicated, Leandro. Jacqueline is always screaming at Laura, humiliating her. She fights even for Laura's religion, because you know that Laura is very religious. And this is getting out of hand. Laura came here and told me that if Jacqueline continues like this, she's going to resign." Leandro says, "Dad, this is serious. I believe Jacqueline wouldn't do that, Dad, because she's not like that." Joao says, "More son, Laura has no reason to lie, and I heard the screams, that's why I called you." Joao says, "Laura is a woman who fears God's Son, just like me, and Jacqueline, I hardly see her during the day, son. It's Laura who takes care of me. Jacqueline doesn't even like me, because she just comes here. Take a look when you are here, son." Leandro says, "More Dad, I need proof, because without proof I can't believe this, because Jacqueline is a very good wife, and I need to hear her version and Laura Pie's, because they are serious accusations, and to make this type of accusation the person has to have evidence." "More Dad, I'm going to talk to Laura to hear what she has to say, and then I'm going to talk to Jacqueline, and if I find out that all of this is a lie, I'm going to fire her, Dad." Joao says, "If you do that, you'll be unfair, because I hear Jacqueline screams every day." The words of humiliation, Jacqueline is very hard on Laura, and here in this bed I can't do anything. Leandro says, "Dad, I know it's complicated, that you like Laura a lot, but if I prove that she's lying, I'll fire her, but I'll go to Dad and talk to her." Leandro gets up and goes to talk to Laura. Leandro says to Laura, "I need to talk to you." Laura drops what you're doing. Leandro says, "You can sit over there at the table, Laura." Very thick, Leandro says, "Look Laura, I'll be very brief with you. My father told me his version of everything that happened, and honestly, I don't believe my wife could be like that, as he said, so I want you to stop going there worrying him with your lies." Laura says, "But it's not a lie, sir. Everything I said is true. I don't even have the reason to lie about it." "In which city are you watching this story right now?" Laura keeps talking, "Sir, I'm here to do my job. I take care of your father very well, and I don't have to lie about something as serious as that, and I'm still here because I really need it, sir. You know that I have a daughter who depends only on me, and I've been putting up with all of this just because I need to guarantee my daughter's support." Leandro says, "Look Laura, look at me. It's no use coming here with this talk of playing the victim. No, just like you do with my father, I'm different, and for me words don't prove anything. If that's really true, I need evidence to prove this." Laura says, "I know, sir, and I thought that at some point I would need proof, so sometimes I manage to record it, I have it on my cell phone to prove what I'm talking about. Laura says, and these pictures will prove that I'm telling the truth. Leandro says, look, it's not going to solve you staying here crying for me. No, if you have proof, take it right away and show it to me, that's how I believe it. Laura says, okay sir, wait a minute and I'll get my cell phone over there and I'll be right back to show you. Laura gets up and goes to get her cell phone. Soon she comes back and sits next to Leandro and says, look sir, I told you I had proof, here are the recordings, you can see them. Leandro takes Laura's cell phone and starts watching some of the videos she recorded. Leandro is horrified to see his wife really mistreating Laura. In the first video, it shows Jacqueline making Laura rub her face on the floor and humiliating her with words, calling her useless. In the second, it shows Jacqueline comes out of nowhere, takes Laura by the hair and says, it's really not clean here, look, you'll have to clean it again, and rub Laura's face against the wardrobe. In another image it shows Jacqueline saying, I don't want this nonsense here in my house, no, I don't want to see you wasting time with these prayers, or with that God of yours that you say you believe in. Leandro says, oh my God Laura, I never imagined that Jacqueline would be like this, I couldn't believe she would be able to do such monstrosity. Leandro says, I'm sorry Laura for not believing you, for being rude to you, but it was hard to believe that Jacqueline would do such evil things, but you can rest assured that I'll fix it right away. Laura says, okay sir. Later they hatched a plan to catch Jacqueline in the act so she wouldn't deny it. She gets home and finds Laura sitting on the sofa. Jacqueline comes in screaming and says, what's all this time off, what do you think you're doing on my sofa? She takes Laura by the arm and says, that was the last straw, you're fired. She takes Laura by the arm and leads her towards the door and saying, with you out of here my problems are solved. But when Jacqueline opens the door to let Laura out, Leandro is there with Laura's daughter. He comes in saying, so you've really been treating Laura badly. Jacqueline pretends not to understand and says, what is this love? Leandro says, I know the whole truth, Jacqueline, Laura showed me evidence that shows who you are. She looks at Leandro and says, it's a lie, love, I would never do those things. Leandro says, it's no use playing the victim, I know everything Jacqueline. Leandro says, the door is here, you can go out. Jacqueline says, calm down, honey, you're very nervous, let's talk. Leandro takes Jacqueline out and says, if you don't believe in God, that's your problem. Jacqueline says, I really can't believe it, she's gone. Leandro says, look, I have to apologize again to you two now, and you can rest assured that from this point on it won't happen to you again Laura. They thank you. What did you think of this story, what would you do?